Okay, this one will be about overprescription, trust, and self-measurement, and reliance on yourself to measure your own Snellen. And the reason I got into this in part was to help my immediate relatives always pass the DMV and then never start wearing a minus lens. Therefore, the goal was not 2020, but to never get or start wearing a minus lens. This is why I use a Snellen and have the 2040 line underlined, because as long as I pass that, I don't have to wear a minus lens. That's personal discretion, curiosity, and massive body of scientific data. The Eskimos, as long as you live outdoors, refractions plus one Doppler 2020. Go through 12 years in school, 85% negative refractive state. Could you talk to the Eskimos and get them to do prevention? The answer is no. They're Eskimos. And that's true for all of us. We're Eskimos. Well, can't do anything about it. Are you an engineer scientist? That's a little bit different. And a pilot? If you're 2050, do you want to take responsibility to go from 2050 to 2030? If it means wearing a plus for all near work, I don't know. The answer for most people is no, I'm not going to do it. That's fine. You'll stay at 2050. Pilot's a little different. He knows what he must meet, and he has a Snellen, and he knows that there's virtually no other choice. But will he do it? Okay, overprescription. Optometrists have bad days. They get they write the wrong prescription. Something doesn't work. You walk out of the office, you blink, you have these powerful minus lenses on, and you got to wear them because you don't check and you trust. The reason I say overprescription was Dennis Romish, who I put in my book because it was a shock to me. I thought you could get out of 2050, but that was the limit. I met Dennis Romish. I was a McDonnell Douglas engineer working for NASA. And I'd already written the book, had a Snellen in the back of the book. And Dennis heard my lecture and he introduced himself. It turns he had a -4 Doppler prescription with some cylinder. I looked at it and I'd seen him around the place. I thought he'd never be successful. I didn't ask. So I said, well, Dennis, what you have to do really is pass the DMV, Maryland, state of Maryland, which in my mind is 2050, 2060, and 2040, both eyes open, 2040. And so I had him look at street lights and so forth. I said, but, it doesn't matter what I say. Rather, it's you personally, objectively passing the DMV, state DMV. So Dennis gave it a shot. Now, I don't know how long I knew Dennis. May have been probably 9 months, maybe. So I said, yeah, you have to pass the state DMV. You can do it on your home Snellen, but ultimately you got to go into the department and pass their test objectively. So when I looked at it as prescription, it was, and I put it in my book, -4 Doppters. I say, the eye doesn't change itself by 3 Doppters in 9 months. The only explanation was overprescription. Consistently, he'd use that for a long period of time. The amazing part is he went from -4 to passing the DMV. I don't try to explain that. And even Jake Steiner has done something similar. However, they never look at a Snellen. It's like, trust me, I improved my vision. Trust me is fine, except you never look, never check. So people like to make claims like that. I will never make claims like that. There are two ask, well, I don't really want 2020. 2050 is fine. That's okay with me. I don't have any say in it. The only three people I know who will be successful. That's the children of Rupa Wong and Jeff Wong. She has 20/20. He has about 20, probably about a -3 or -4, something like that. You don't get out of -4, except for Dennis Romish. Now, I wear a plus lens for all close work. It's like brushing my teeth on a regular basis. I have no problem trusting a measurement in an office because as long as I made the measurement myself at home on my Snellen, that way I don't have any arguments. And because of Reufelson and the public's rejection of prevention at 2050, I realized it was pointless to ask an optometrist to help you because he doesn't know you. He doesn't know what you're capable of. As far as he's concerned, prevention is impossible for everyone. So wear your minus lens and don't ask questions. So is that right? Well, I don't know. They don't have a responsibility to help me keep my 20/20, which is why I got to do it myself. Atropine in the plus or the plus. Atropine prevents doing this. And that's, if we don't do that, we go down a half diopter per year. Some kids, it's more like 1 diopter per year. Everybody says that should be a problem. Should not be a problem. That is the problem. So whatever you do, if you want to say, I can push that out and measure 4 inches, that's or 10 inches, that's -4 diopters. I don't think you're going to get out of it. Maybe you will, don't know. But I don't advocate that people attempt to get out of -4 diopters. So if you say, all I have to do is measure inches to my what, that's fine, do it. But I'm not going to say you're going to get out of it. And I only say, I'm happy passing the DMV or passing 20/40 line. Personally, at home, I'm reading 20/20. I'm not bragging about it because I don't have to prove it to anyone. So add your own thoughts. I wish I'd been offered prevention when I was at 20/50, along with the science, which is never presented to me. I would have been successful. But I also personally measure my refraction as +1/2 diopter in 20/20. It's been that way for the last 11 years at least. And your own thoughts. How much responsibility do you want to take for yourself for long-term prevention when you're 20/50? I can't answer that one. Only you know the answer. Thank you.